Okay, so basically I don't have any volume set up on the Twitch, so it doesn't distract. Should I put some volume on there, though?
Uh, Only if you find it necessary for yourself. I have my game sounds turned off because I found they were being a little too loud. But anyway, we're live right now, so I'll give it a few minutes for people to tune in. But I'm just following my guildmate here, Nick, and I think your support crew. I think name is Jay, and they're just doing keeps right now. I think they wanted to go to Atlantis for some reason. I don't remember. But for now, we're in the frontiers.
Okay, well, if they have any reason to go to Atlantis and allow a little 28 level to tag along, I'd love it.
Well, I have Crocodile Tearing on my Bard, so you can definitely sidecar if you want.
Of course, I'm stuck in health.
All right, if you're just joining us, the person streaming the night podcast today is myself, Ian, Saxona. We're on the PvE Gahara server. I'm just following one of my guildmates around while he does stuff, so you have something interesting to look at. Um, we just had a newsletter come out last week. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to just go through that and get your thoughts on everything that is happening or that's going on or will be going on. I am joined by Larian Laquella, the former Ranger team lead, current housing and miscellaneous enthusiast. I don't know how you would put it, Larian, but and I think Keili is also here as well. If you guys want to say hello.
Well, howdy, and kudos to you for pronouncing my name correctly. And yes, I would say housing, guilds, and storage.
And don't forget the orb.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. So I think we'll get right into it. I'm not going in the same order as the newsletter. So, but anyway, the Night application update. There's been a few applications that have been processed. So with that said, we would like to welcome Tald, Endem, Sirik, and Kuji to the Night program. Should be pretty cool to have all those guys. Tald is a Kiwi, a New Zealander, so we got some oceanic representation now. So that's pretty cool. Endem plays late night US prime time, and is going to be doing a lot of podcasting and creating video guides, streaming, and things like that. Sirik will be streaming as well. He'll probably be quite involved in doing some events, and will be carrying the load for the testing that needs to be done, so that's pretty cool. Kuji will be streaming as well, mostly RVR, and he'll also be organizing RVR events, so that'll be pretty cool. So congrats to all of you. And as it says in the newsletter, we currently have, I think it's 11 nights. I'm not sure if it's 15 now because of the 4 new ones, but we're still looking to expand that number to about 20. So if you haven't applied yet and think you'd be a good fit, definitely do that. So yeah, what do you guys think of the new nights? Have you had any interaction with them beforehand? I know they were all members of the internal Dark Age of Camelot General Board, so.
I think that's a great place for them to start, you know, looking for folks who are committed to the game on the internal forums. Mostly, I tend to be pretty much just an observer on those forums, considering my level of actual involvement online. But, you know, I have seen their posts. They are thoughtful and insightful, as well as, you know, folks that are committed to the game, so I'm glad to have them on board.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool to have them all on board. I've grouped with Tald and Endem before. They're both great guys. They always take the initiative to start their own groups and get people going, and they're always welcoming to anyone who wants to join. You know, if you screw up, they don't yell at you or anything. They say, hey, you did this wrong, next time. You know, that kind of thing. So they're not like super elitist or whatever, but so that's pretty cool.
Well, you gotta give them credit for one thing. If you do run with Todd, make sure you have cue binds turned on in Ventrilo so you can hear when he says stick and move out.
Oh yes, he's the robot. Yeah, he's pretty funny. Yeah, he I don't know if anyone knows this, but if they've ever watched a video with Tald in the group, but he plays when his babies are sleeping, so he doesn't actually use his microphone when in Ventrilo. See, he has the binds in Ventrilo, that feature where you can use an automated voice for yourself. So he has some binds for you know, stick up or you know, heal Tald or rebuff or whatever. So if you ever hear the robotic voice, that's Tald speaking.
A much higher level of user familiarity with Ventrilo than me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining to group with Tald just for that reason alone. And let's see here. Player accolades and remembrances.
But I did want to say, I think
go ahead.
all the knights that they did add, really good guys, really good players.
Yeah, it'll be good to have them. So yeah, there's a couple of community-related announcements. Shiny and his wife would like to welcome their baby girl Andriana to the world, so congratulations to you too. Yeah, it's funny. It's not just because you're a gaming nerd doesn't mean you don't have a life outside of the game. So I know a lot of people like on forums that like they just assume you don't have a life because you play video games, but Shiny and his wife, there's living proof of the opposite.
I always like to say my daughter is proof that I got lucky at least once.
And yeah, so there's also best wishes to Sarima. Fugo wanted to have everyone have Sarima in your thoughts. Veteran Albion players, just wish him the best of luck in his recovery in the fight against cancer, laryngeal cancer. I'm probably saying that wrong. Laryngitis. I don't know. But anyway, hope you have a speedy and relatively painless recovery. As far as community announcements go, if you have any news or wishes for anyone, you can send them to Carol, which is Baben on PostCount. I'll actually leave a link to her profile in the Twitch chat for you. If I can get this open right. There we go. So if you want to, have any news or anything like that? One thing that I want to skip over to, I thought would be fun to talk about, was the knights and the developers are still working on the rules and prizes and timeline for the free-for-all 5v5 tournament on Pendragon. So that'd be pretty cool. I was wondering, Larian, since we haven't heard from you about any of this kind of stuff, are you going to be participating? And if you are, what kind of setup were you thinking you would roll out with your friends?
Unfortunately, I probably will not be participating. This June has just been absolutely atrocious for work. Between my daughter graduating from high school, her birthday, a proposal I'm working on for work, and travels for various projects and activities, I don't even know what my bed's going to feel like after a while.
Well, that's too bad. But yeah, I was just messing around talking to one of my guildmates about this, and he had sort of a, what would you call it, an epiphany about warlocks, I guess you could say. He really likes the witchcraft line of warlocks, and we were thinking of setups that would complement a witchcraft warlock, and we were thinking with the AF debuff that warlocks have and all the heals that they have, maybe a melee train would be pretty strong, and which two melees would go really well together. But I think a paladin and a savage together, so we were thinking maybe like bard, paladin, savage, warlock, and then maybe throw a surgist in there for good measure.
Oh, so are they going Garrus rule set for the 5v5?
Yeah, Mordred rule set, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool.
Throw a warlock in there, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the Twitch chat hanging out right now? Is there any setups you had in mind that would be pretty cool? I don't know. Legitrain, a legendary train. Yeah, that could work. What were you thinking, Amador? Like any specific damage type, or I think just a paladin savage train with that warlock AF debuff would just be crazy strong. I don't know. I think that would be pretty nasty if you get AF debuffed and you have a paladin and savage, with their celerity and two-hander and hand-to-hand just laying waste. Might be pretty rough. A warlock, I think, can debuff matter resist, but if you're a witchcraft warlock, they debuff armor factor. I think it's like 150 armor factor debuff. I'm not sure if debuff bonus affects that though. The TOA stat that's like debuff bonus. They recently put on some Darkness Falls loot, like I think the Searing Demon Belt or possibly Searing Demon Gem, one of those two. They have the debuff bonus on it, but I'm not sure if that affects the armor factor debuff. So anyway, Amador is saying Kabbalist, Paladin, Savage, Bard, Valk running one of the legendaries that a cabbie can debuff. So either Spirit or I think it would just be Spirit. There's no body legendaries, and I think you would, for the energy debuff, you would need what is it? Oh, we're like coming really close to dying here. There we go. This is hurting. Anyway, yeah, I think you would need the sun belt for the energy damage.
The sun
type.
weapons. The belt of the sun?
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I think in terms of practicality, you would probably run Spirit Legendaries. Yeah, this is the Snatcher's encounter. The Snatcher encounter has 3 different spots that in Typhon's Reach. One is on that island where the Malice encounter is. It's the same mob as Czar, but instead of charming salamanders like she did here, she charms the tar mages. And then on the island south of here, it's just a Simhi plebeian, and it's probably the easiest one on the southern island, and the Salamander Island is probably the toughest one. But anyway, continuing to speak about this section, it looks like there's going to be Midsummer's inaugural event. What it's inaugurating, I'm not sure. I guess just inaugurating summer, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway, it says summertime has always been a blast in Dark Age of Camelot, but this year we are excited to be adding the new Midsummer event to the mix. New event will, of course, mean new rewards, but these won't be earned just by completing a PvE quest. You'll have to get your hands dirty in RVR, so that should be interesting. I guess maybe it'll be a Frontiers event, or do you think it'll be something that is held in one of the RVR dungeons like ML10 or Passage of Conflict? What do you think, Larian?
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually just really waiting to hear more about this, just because, you know, again, what DAoC does so much better than anything else is that RVR PvE. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe Passage of Conflict would be a place that people could run in through. I know a lot of folks haven't really used that for any sort of tactical advantage. It's turned into a farming and more of a PL spot than anything else.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's yeah, that's. I know it used to be like you could sneak relics through there, but I don't think that's really
Yep.
done anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think you can zone anymore with a relic.
Yeah, but yeah, I do remember. I think it was in 2009. There was a similar midsummer event where I think you had to kill Megalodon or something like that. Maybe it was a fall event I'm thinking of, but yeah, you had to kill Megalodon, and so maybe it might be something like that. Uh, and some of the rewards were like house trophies, where it was just like a basket of fish or something weird like that. But
Yes, I do remember that. They also had actually
Yeah.
it wasn't Broadsword that had it. It was VN forums, I guess, or the post count. They had that other screenshot thing. I thought that was last or a couple summers ago.
yeah, I think that's been done a few times. The last one I remember was on VN boards. It was the Gaharis team lead, Marion, I think it was. She did a little screenshot thing, and people tried to find where
Oh,
the
yeah.
screenshot was.
I remember that. Yep. That was a lot of fun. And she would pick some off-the-wall places, too.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that would be interesting. Amadoria said Glacier Giant. That would be pretty funny if that was one of the objectives, was to kill the Glacier Giant. I know that can be a pretty rough fight for sometimes, just getting tossed all the way across the zone. But
I
yeah,
remember
so
taking him down back on Guinevere.
was that in Old Frontiers, or was that in the New Frontier zone?
Oh, definitely Old Frontiers.
Yeah, that was. I always remember running past him and being scared out of my mind. Now in New Frontiers, he's just kind of there. Sometimes we kill him on Gaharis. Um, I think the smallest amount we've killed him with is I think like 6 or 7 people, and we just kind of hope that the tank doesn't get tossed and can manage the giant while the others run back after they're tossed. But anyways, so yeah, there's looks like Broadsword is still working on integrating the Bob's UI to the default interface. So they're just sort of busy normalizing the look and layout, and picking the default state, I guess it would be called default, of the UI. So they say the first batch will be coming this summer. So pretty soon here, I'd say. What kind of things are you guys hoping that the interface will have? I know personally, if you can see on my screen, there's this healer's helper window. I'm really hoping that they
Yep.
do something like that.
And also the old icons.
Yeah, yeah, I have these are
Yeah.
kind of semi-old icons. They're not old icons, but kind of that general idea. One thing I do
Yeah,
really
like I
like.
said, it'd be
Go ahead.
the one thing I'm really hoping that with the revamp or excuse me, revamp of the Bob's UI is to really flip easily between the new icons and the old icons, because there's a lot of player base that likes either or, and it'd be just really cool if it was either a check mark or a drop down box or something like that, instead of having to go through the options chooser like you have to do now.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things that I really liked is...
Because I don't think it'll be very intuitive for a lot of people that haven't used a custom UI.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one of the things that I was really hoping for is you can see my compass right here. I like how it just kind of, you can see it's almost like a real compass, kind of like where the default one was just kind of, I don't know if it shows, no, it doesn't. It seemed less intuitive, whereas this one's more, if you're looking west, you can, or a more or less usual direction like north-northwest, you can kind of get a general idea of where directly behind you is, so I kind of like that style of compass more.
I made a custom compass clock lag meter device, so that I have a compass, I have the lag meter, then it shows, you know, date, time, and then it shows in-game time as well, all in one little window, which I really like.
Yeah, that's pretty neat just to have it all in one compact little spot. So it looks like there's also a Camelot Herald revamp / reskin that they're working on, and looks like they're aiming to have the site up and running by the end of the year, so that'll be pretty cool. Hopefully they don't do what they did last time and remove features that were already there and kind of leave you hanging, so hopefully everything that is there will stay there. It's just more of an addition, or like they say, just a reskin, not really a complete revamp.
I wish they would bring back the housing directory search, so you can look, see where there's open lots online.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice feature. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, something like that would be pretty cool.
Putting in those guides that we've been writing for Carol? You know, I know I did the housing guide, and I'm supposed to do a video guide as well for housing, as well as guilds and alliances, and I just
yeah, I think that's probably part of it. I'm sure she has it on the site somewhere. It's just not in a official spot yet, I guess you could say, or an official. It doesn't. There's no real link to it quite yet, as far as I know. Although some of the guides that are already published, like if you're on the main page, where is it? I think it's right, the third link on the main page of the what would you call that, the main, that picture sliding thing at the top. If you go to the third link, okay, there's all sorts of video guides, and I think a couple of them are by Lovely. There's probably one or two by myself. Yeah, it looks like mostly just videos made by myself and Lovely, but I think for example, your housing one will probably be linked somewhere in the housing information section of the website. And it looks like they're
yeah, I just
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just found that thread by Lovely about the video guide, so I've got to learn how to record video now. Us old people don't do well with that.
Yeah, it should be good to have additional resources to help new or returning players figure out the game. Let's see here. So let's see here. We got the 1.118 patch coming up in just 2 weeks, it says, which is pretty much like a week from now, I'd say, since the newsletter was recorded almost a week, or released almost a week ago. So 1.118 is coming up pretty soon. There's going to be a brand new campaign starting. It pretty much kind of already has started if anyone's done those quests that you can get from the throne room. I think in Hib it's called the Siabra quest line, and Midgard it's the Jotun or Jotun, and on Albion I think it's like spirits or ghosts or something like that. And you can see in the picture in the newsletter it has the ghost of King Uther, so that'll be pretty cool. And then they're continuing their work on the actually, before I get into that, what do you think of all this stuff coming up? Are you pretty excited for this new PvE campaign, or are you more interested in RVR?
Me personally, I kind of like doing a bit of everything. I'm the a la carte guy of everything, so the PvE campaign definitely sounds interesting. I only got to test it a bit on Pendragon. Never did anything with it on live servers yet.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I definitely thought the fight that they already had, the one where you send the king and queen back through the portal, that was pretty cool. It was funny, we actually brought a ton of heretics to one of the fights, and we actually almost killed the the queen before she went back in the portal, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, the fight is basically you get the boss to go back through the portal, and you kind of drive them away. But obviously, with this campaign, they will be coming back with a vengeance. So so that would be pretty fun. I'm just curious to see if they're planning on adding new items, or if it'll continue to be the rewards like we got already with that supremacy potion and the realm point buff potion, where you get 10% realm point bonus earned for, I think it's half an hour, and it persists through death.
I like that a great deal. Yeah, more items. I still haven't upgraded my template with the latest blood seal stuff you can buy, so I'm kind of behind. And I hate templating.
As much as I hate templating, I still do it all the time.
I'll pay you.
Yeah, there's
real
so many
money
new
to template
items that
for
come
me.
out, you feel like you have to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what will be happening. I know that more recently, Broadsword has been attempting to, when they introduce new items, they try to introduce an item that is more of an extra option than it is a required option, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, in a caster template, many would argue that Bracer of Zora Cat would be a required item in RVR template. And like on Geharis, this Horn of Valhalla fragment is probably considered a required item as well. Whereas the items that they want to introduce aren't so powerful that they're required like these items are, where it's more of a case where it's just an additional option where you will you'll want it if it fits, but you don't absolutely have to have it in order to compete. So hopefully they'll continue with that line of thinking. I think that's probably what most players want. It will be interesting to see if they do more of those items where they have the Labyrinth Mytherian style stat plus stat cap item. That should be pretty interesting to see if more items get that, and if it gets to the point where people are trying to have 120 decks in their template instead of the usual 101. But again, it's probably when you get to have that much dexterity, it gets to be more of a point where, are you trying to get more decks, or are you trying to have more /use toys, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, you start getting to a point of diminishing returns, really. There's a certain point of min-maxing where the maxing just gets you to where you really don't see a benefit of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it gets to a point where, do I really need that much dex, or should I focus on maybe trying to get more constitution, or is the template good enough to where maybe I should, even though I'm on a mentalist, maybe I should try and get more heal bonus instead of, I mean, now that I have max duration, I have all the TOA stats I need, I have 100 dex, 100 acuity or whatever, might open up more options to see if you can squeeze that little bit more out of your template. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this new campaign introduces items like that. What else are they adding? This is probably a big thing, especially for Necros. They're going to be doing a huge pathing fix in the New Frontiers. So hopefully that will sort of soothe all the woes of pet classes in the Frontiers. I know I play a Minstrel, and it can be pretty frustrating when you're going through certain mazes or bridges and you basically just can't go in certain spots because you'll lose your pet. Do you
I've always wondered if they could introduce some sort of pet pathing in housing, not so much to have pets there, but to add some more dynamic content where you have wildlife wandering around in housing. Otherwise, it just seems so stagnant.
Yeah, the housing dome does seem rather lifeless without any sort of wildlife. What would you? What kind of wildlife would you think would be like aggressive monsters that you would have to fight, or would it be more something like? Because I know housing, the housing zone is like a capital city where, as far as I know, there isn't really any combat allowed. That's why you can't summon pets there or anything.
Yeah, I would look for, rabbits and deer, just ambient
Oh yeah.
background life. And be able to have you summon your pets and things like that so that you can show off all your pets and whatever other doodads you may have.
Oh, you mean like vanity pets, right?
Yeah, those as well as anything that, just again, have birds, rabbits, deer, whatever else
yeah.
running around in the housing zone.
Yeah, I always found it sort of strange that you couldn't summon your, at the very least, summon vanity pets in the housing zone. There will also be doing casual group finder adjustment, so that'll be pretty interesting. I know that a lot of people suggested that there would be sort of like the casual group finder would pop up on your screen when you first log in, sort of just to remind you that it's there and encourage people to use it. I believe that will be one of the features that they're considering doing. What else do you think would be helpful for the casual group finder?
As much as people hate them, stealth groups. Unless we can figure out a way to get the stealthers invited into regular visible groups as a class that is at least welcome, you know, they're going to need some way to actually take advantage of the casual group finder.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm just reading the chat right now, and there's something. Someone mentioned the bug where if your setup is a certain way, if you have the buff icons as anything other than 7x3, you'll crash. So I know that that issue is definitely being investigated, but it's one of those things that are a little hard to pinpoint because of all the variables involved, like what driver you're using for your video card, what actual video card you're using, you know, all sorts of things like that. And so I know that that issue is being investigated, but it will probably be a bit of time before something productive is resolved.
Yeah, I've never actually run into that particular bug.
Yeah, I've never come across it myself either. I'm not sure if that's just something that doesn't apply to my setup, or if I've just been lucky or what. But yeah, I do know that it's being investigated for sure. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, there's that new Dark Age of Camelot store. There's all sorts of cool stuff. I'm wondering if anyone in the chat, if they've gotten anything yet. I sort of had my eye on a teapot. I need a teapot, so I was thinking about possibly getting that thing. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe one of those notepads, just for writing random things down that you need to write down when you're on the computer.
So I've actually got quite a bit of Dark Age merch already from way back in the day. But yeah, I intend to get myself a few t-shirts and a few other goodies.
Ooh, it looks like I just got an item that is needed. There it is, a control crystal. I think that summons one of the, or activates one of the parts of the encounters. But anyway, yeah, it's yeah, there's pretty cool stuff on there. I know one of my friends was liking that keychain. It's not like in your face like a t-shirt, but it's just sort of a subtle nod to the fact that you play Dark Age.
I've actually had people come up to me and mention the fact that I'm wearing a t-shirt, and they're like, "Oh, I used to play that game," so you know, I try to bring them back.
Yeah, I've worn that. I have my Hibernia shirt from back when EA Mythic had BioWare attached to their name, but I haven't been fortunate enough to run into any fellow players yet. But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff on there. I think there's a lot of tempting things to get. Some of them I'm not really sure where they got the idea for it, like poker chips. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that, I mean, there must be a market for it, but I just never really considered something like that.
I think that came from when they had roundtables in Vegas.
Oh,
They gave
yeah.
a few poker chips away back then.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. The other thing that I found somewhat strange was the cookie pop. I guess that'd be pretty cool if, like, you have, like, you know, a husband or wife or something that plays Dark Age and you want to put it on their cake or something.
Actually, there have been quite a few instances where players have got together and had some sort of celebration, and have had different cakes and cookies and things to kind of celebrate the whole event with DAoC themed bakeries and sweets.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. See, I just never think of things like that. It just never even crossed my mind. I was just like, oh, that's that seems strange, but I guess that, you know, there's definitely people who would get it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like those
Wow, I didn't die.
player-driven events where guilds and alliances get together.
Looks like there's something Todd's talking about in chat. Oh, I'm a little behind here. There we go. Oh, he's talking about the that bug with the buff icons. Yeah, that's hopefully that gets fixed. It's pretty kind of bums you out when when you crash just for no reason or seemingly no apparent reason.
Oh, you're talking about the rows. Got it.
Yeah. So we also have this weekend and all the way through May 29th, Friday, the Memorial Day weekend bonuses. So lots of realm point bonuses, crafting bonuses in housing zones in capital cities. On Geharis, there's a 100% realm point bonus in capital cities, and that's where people, I know a lot of people save up their dreaded seals, which is turned in for realm points. They save them up for weekends like this and turn in everything they've got. So on that note, I would like to congratulate one of my guildmates, Evelyn. He has been working very hard for the past few months to get realm rank 14 on his Spirit Master. So yeah, that was pretty cool. It's I think he's the 6th, 7th realm rank 14 on Geharis. So it's pretty cool. That made me think of something that I wanted to ask everyone in the stream chat. When you have someone in your guild who reaches a significant realm rank ding, is there anything that you do to sort of congratulate them or reward them? I know, like, for example, in my guild, if someone reaches realm rank 14, they have the full permission of the entire guild to change the emblem if they want. So sort of like a like a little celebration. Everyone changes their colors to the color that you choose. If you reach realm rank 14. So that's one thing that we do. And another thing that I personally do for my guildmates is if it's their real life birthday, I'll get them something like a trophy, or if they need a lot of scales, I'll give them like 5,000 scales or something like that. So is there anything that anything like that you people do, or what about you, Larian or Keili?
Well, we don't have much in the way of in-game stuff like that. My guild on Yuan is one that we carried over from the old Guinevere days, and the big thing that we had was a corporate sponsor, a sword company called Arms of Valor. So the big thing there was that guild members could get 10% off retail prices off of things on their website.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And is that like sort of like sounds like it actually sells swords or something?
Yes, real swords, as well as of the decorative swords and things like that. The guy that owned the company was one of the founding members of the guild, and Armin Abtrenid is actually Gaelic for Arms of Valor, his sword company. So that's what he did. But he sold his sword company back a couple of years ago. So for the most part, I really haven't had much opportunity to really dedicate to my guild and alliance as of late. So I'm always looking for help.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so what about you, Keili? Is there anything that you or your guildmates do? Well, I think he might have did a ninja AFK. Oh yeah, he's not even in Ventrilo anymore. Looks like he might have disconnected.
I like middle-aged gaming. He says grats in all caps. And yes, a lot of grats do go around in alliance and guild.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Probably the easiest thing you can do, but probably the only thing you really can do for most people, which is not a bad thing.
I mean, I have given away things like game cards and things like that to people, just, but not necessarily for reaching a goal or anything. Just within my guild, one of the things I like to say is we have the Armin way, which is, you know, being kind and nice to the people within our realm. And if there are people who have specific things that they've done that deserve recognition, I do that. And then I've also got this silly thing on our guild webpage where each character can set up their character with a picture and a little bio and you know, things like that about their character. And while it doesn't confer any real benefit in the game, I have a list of different types of awards that they can receive at the behest of the guild master. So, you know, I have things like the Mask of Gyjax, which is a you know, an award for role-playing, named after Gary Gygax, of course. And silly things like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to think of anything I do on my guild site. There's nothing really special. We have anyone can upload to the gallery if they're registered on the site. But aside from that, there's not really much. We have a template section, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, there's definitely lots you could do with that kind of stuff. All right, where was I? I think that pretty much covers anything. Was there anything you wanted to Oh, there was one more thing. The Twitch channel as well as the newsletter are nearing 1,000 followers each. So if you haven't followed us on Twitch, or if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter yet, now would be a good time. When we hit 1,000, we're going to do a little lottery giveaway. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, the first prize will be a 30-day game time code and one free Dark Age item from the Zazzle store that we just recently put up. The second prize will be one free item up to a $30 value, and the third prize will be one free item up to a $15 value. And I forgot to mention the first prize is up to a $30 value item as well as the game time code. And then the same for the Twitch follower lottery reward. If there's the same first, second, and third prize as the newsletter reward. So if you subscribe to both, you basically double your chances. So I mean, you could potentially get first prize for the newsletter and like third prize or something for the Twitch lottery thing. So definitely, one thing I didn't realize was I wasn't subscribed to the Twitch channel yet, so I did that, and so
that as well today.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've been. You get so busy with doing all these other things that you kind of, let other things fall by the wayside.
Yeah, well, it was kind of ironic because I've been streaming for the channel for quite a while, but I hadn't actually subscribed myself to it. But anyway, yeah, that's one little cool things we're doing as well. I think that pretty much covers it. That was pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Was there anything that you had in mind that you wanted to mention or discuss, or?
Not really anything. Oh, hey, welcome back. I was just going to say, again, we as the Knights are really there as a community resource. So again, if you see any of us out and about, I know on the Yawain servers we have these little small guilds, the Broadsword Knights of blank, whichever realm it happens to be. So if you happen to see any of us out and about doing anything, don't feel bad about bothering us and getting together with us and asking us questions. Same with email or whatever else. We are a resource for the player base.
All right. Well, if unless anyone has any shout-outs or anything like that, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for watching, and again, if you haven't subscribed or followed us on Twitch, subscribe to the newsletter. There's big prizes coming if you do that, so if you have a chance to win, so that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, I guess we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.